I was
All
wondering.
right, so it's a counting down from 3.
Wow, he's really gonna do the countdown too.
1. Well, that's what it says.
Like we couldn't see it.
Like we all can't see.
Like
the
we
same
couldn't
thing.
see it.
Yeah, I'm regretting this already.
You don't want 1,000 motherfuckers on this shit.
Yeah, that's your fault, motherfucker.
All right, so hey everyone, welcome to the Light Skin Perspective. I'm your host Keenan Floyd, and my co-host. Okay, he's not gonna say his name. Mo Green.
I just said it, motherfucker. Damn. It's a lag.
If you guys are just joining us for the first time, you can actually like and subscribe our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Instagram at LSPcast. You can follow us personally. You can follow me. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Keenan J Floyd. And Mo, tell them where they can follow you.
Comedian Mo Green on all platforms.
Yeah,
that's it.
Even OnlyFans. Sorry, that was a horrible.
Yeah, that too.
I would never say that.
Wow,
that too, man.
We
wow.
got.
You just said that.
We
got to get in where we fit in.
We got a gambit on our podcast today. We got 2 light-skinned black folks and a white guy.
Is that Seth Rogen?
That's hilarious.
We got Krys Harrison.
Hello.
We got Shang Forbes.
You sound like a dirty old man.
You can say just Shang, man.
Shang, I've been watching you since I was 11, and I'm 43.
See what I'm saying? I've been in comedy since it was wooden mics. Motherfuckers would just clap wood together and say, hear ye, the show's up again.
Stone tablets.
I know. I'll be doing Easter Island for 4 shows.
But you don't age, man. You know who always thought you looked like Chino XL?
I do.
Exactly like him. That's crazy.
Hardcore grandma flipping the Marge Stammer. Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, Chino XL. He's dope, man. He's the precursor. He's the precursor to Eminem, and people don't realize that.
Facts. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts.
And just real quick, and we got Carl Spitale. Is it Spitale or Spitale?
Spitale.
Spitale. Carl Spitale.
Damn right it is.
Spitale, a.k.a. I got swag, a.k.a. I didn't shave my beard, but it still look good, a.k.a.
It still look good. Thanks, Shang. I appreciate that.
And he got the Jets. He got the Jets.
I didn't know how it was going to be.
Yeah, and he got the Jets hat on, so he got credibility.
Oh, this miserable team.
That's
Seth
Rogen.
Sports podcast.
You better do some stunt double work for Seth, man, because you look just like that dude. That's just crazy.
Well, I mean, you know,
he's a virgin.
A lot of weed.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting podcast because we're all loudmouths, and this is gonna be just amazing. Just
we're not all loudmouths. We just I mean, she's a beautiful woman.
Listen, we did the little backstage thing on the show, and Krys has the foulest mouth out of anybody.
I mean, that is true, though.
Yeah.
Ooh, I guess like a sailor.
We are happy to have you here, Krys. Thank you so much.
Can I cuss here? Because I tried to do a.
I'm pretty sure you can say whatever you want,
and it didn't work.
Well, I like the fact you started off with pussy, cunt, juice, smack, smash, anal. That's called a run-on sentence, motherfuckers.
Yes. I see. A come-on sentence, man.
That's what we was talking about. Keenan, I'm sorry that happened to you, that your car got broken into.
Oh yeah, so what happened was I went to.
I didn't want to jump into that, but
I went to Chocolate Sundays on Sunday, which I never do. I haven't been to Chocolate Sundays in like a year.
That was your first mistake.
And I parked. I went to both shows, and I parked between the Laugh Factory and Starbucks. And by the time I came,
you think
out,
they were watching you?
I have no idea, because I usually don't park on the street when I go to the Laugh Factory. And by the time I came out, my shit was smashed, and I had a bag. So I brought this bicycle bag that I carry around for some. I don't know why I brought it, because I didn't need it. But inside I had my cards for people to follow me on social media.
Promo
cards. I had my joke book, and I had some cigars. So fuck them, because they didn't really get anything of value.
Well, you know what?
I
man?
mean, we know it wasn't no value, but I mean, for you to say it,
right? And Keenan, I'm sorry that I didn't know that.
He was like joke book. I was like, okay. And then he was like, yeah, there's no value in it. I mean,
literally literally the joke book is at least 4 years of work. So like that's
what have you seen a homeless motherfucker?
Oh, they took the book.
Yeah, they took the book.
That's why you gotta put them all in here, man.
Okay, one at a time. Don't you know how to Keenan? Run your fucking show one at a time.
You shut up, Shang. Go ahead.
You
Carl.
shut up. That's why I broke into your fucking car. I broke into your fucking car because you talk a lot of shit. Fuck you and your car.
And you're gonna have some broke ass hobo come up story on Ellen about this homeless comedian, and he doing all your jokes, and he gonna get a whole special and everything. Oh shit, we got the double cam going.
I was just testing out.
If I
but
get
they both look like he's in a kidnap room, though.
Yo, Mo, blink twice if you're okay. Was that your doppelganger?
Nah, I was testing it in case. I've been having internet issues, so if it messes up, I got backups. That's all.
He's a professional.
Yeah, trying to.
Yeah,
because Keenan yells at me as if I control Wi-Fi. Dude, you need to get your Wi-Fi together. Like it's like not doing stuff.
I mean, you pay more for good Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah, as you can see, I do. No, okay. So I wanted to ask you. So your car got broken into, and did they do anything else to your car? Because we know Krys had something else happen to her car.
Into it?
No, just glass in the back seat. What happened to your car, Krys?
Homeless guy in LA asked me for change, and I didn't have any, and he thought I was lying. So when I was coming out the store, he was skeeting all over my door handle.
You seen him do it?
I saw him do it. I can never unsee that.
So, but you stayed watching and watched the completion without saying anything?
I had to figure out, is this really happening right
That's
now?
what helped him get off. He knew you were watching.
Were you yelling like, don't come, don't
yes.
shoot?
Nah, she was like, she was like this.
But then I'm like, I do watch cum shots on porn, so I'm like,
feel me?
This is like real life, but then it's my car.
Your car got more action I had in 3 months.
Me too. But I came on women's cars before. I've actually jacked off on women's cars.
So are we saying that Shang has done all of these felonies? Is that this?
Pretty much. That wasn't me this time with Krys.
At the time
the
to do it.
So it was
I haven't had the time.
Was it like
I've been watching this since I was 11.
Dehydrated jizz.
Yeah, no. I put a boatload of jizz when I do it. I don't
a boatload.
A boatload.
I wish I could.
How much, Krys? How much jizz was on it?
It was enough for me to call AAA to have them open my door because I refused to touch it.
Oh, so the AAA dude who has no biomedical gear, nothing, shows up. You're like, this looks like a job for AAA, not the ambulance, nobody in a hazmat suit, nobody with gloves.
I would have called the Avengers. Like anytime somebody would ever come on, I'm calling a bunch of niggas that beat.
First of all, he was coming
to death
in the act, so it's not like you. So that's not as bad as walking up to your car and touching it and going. You should have
called. You should have called a Mexican motel maid. They be cleaning up semen all the time. That's their specialty.
All the time, and crime scene.
Or you could have called Jada Pinkett to lick it off.
Yeah, that's true. She would have did it too.
Because she did it.
She would be like, I'll be right there. It's time for healing.
Yeah.
And
she would have made Will.
It's time for healing, exactly.
She would have made Will do it.
Whatever question she wanted to ask.
She would have jumped in her Pacmobile.
Nah, I said she would have made Will do it.
She'd have gave him the side eye. She'd have gave him the side eye. He'd have been like,
"Okay, I'll do it."
Keep my jizz off your car.
I've watched a lot of cuckold porn. I know how it starts.
So you guys are
keep my wife's cum out your mouth.
So
sorry, I can't help it. I'm eating her. I was here and her pussy fell in my mouth.
Jada fucked all of us except for Krys, and maybe Krys too.
Yeah, I think Krys had to have hit. Krys had to have hit.
I don't know.
And you know, like Will was so mad when he seen that that Krys had to have hit for him to be like, this motherfucker, you let him hit? That was the type of smack that it was for me. It's like, he looked at her like, really? And then he does this?
With his double jointed fingers, you let him hit with those double joints?
So you think
he got Mr. Burns' hands?
So he gets mad. So Will gets mad when dark-skinned dudes hit his wife, but light-skinned dudes is cool?
No, that's not cool either. I'm gonna tell you why. He was fighting. He was basically smacking the ghost. He was fighting the ghost of Tupac. That's who he was fighting. He was fighting the ghost of Tupac, and he's always been like, upset about Tupac, dreaming about Tupac, wishing he could fight Tupac. So,
hey, but I mean, Kevin Samuels. Did you see that Kevin Samuels read a letter that Willow wrote to Tupac?
Yeah, Willow Smith wrote like a letter in crayon to Tupac.
Oh yeah, but Willow's a fucking nut buddy too.
Dude, when I saw that, he's like, "Why is your daughter, who has never met this man,
that's directly from the mother,
dead rapper?
That's directly from the mom, yo.
Yeah, claiming that the mom is going to be happy if you came back to life." This is not healthy for a young girl.
Please come back from the dead.
It's like, what in the French toast is going on in that house?
She's like, my mommy. She's like, my mommy needs better back shots. Please come back from the dead.
Wow. Okay, I'm on with some very, other than Krys, some very depraved motherfuckers are on this stuff.
Wait for it.
It ain't over yet, and we just started. So no,
she didn't even tell you she finished.
Oh yeah.
Watching the dude come on her car.
All right. So back to the semen. Back to the semen.
She didn't even stop him. She foul.
Now, do you when you touch your door handle? Does your fingers tingle a little bit? Like post traumatic stress?
You saw it the next day.
I couldn't keep it.
You put on Craigslist. Hobo came on this. Yours or best offer.
And someone probably bought it because it's LA.
The shit like that happened though. Like there was something about my car in LA when I was there that made all the homeless people and like drunk gay guys and WeHo fuck on my car. People have been
what
fucking
was with
on
that
like,
car? What kind of car was it? A Camaro?
It was a Toyota Avalon. It was a family car.
I used to have an Avalon.
Yo, what's that movie with Dirty Mike and the boys when they would fuck in the back of the smaller? Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what though? I really think, Krys, there's something you're doing. Because if somebody fucked on your car, jacked off on your car, you're doing something on the side. I don't know.
You're spraying hobo pheromones on your car.
Or something.
Hey, have you seen that guy again? Because you said he was always.
I would not be single right now.
It's a sexual demon.
But have you seen that dude? You said he was always asking for change, like in your neighborhood. Like you know that guy. You see him. So have you seen him since? And he'd be like, man, fuck that car. You go get another car, me, bitch.
I saw him after the fact, and he just acted like nothing happened. But I moved from LA since then, so to the best of my knowledge, nobody has come on my car.
Where are you at now?
Wait till this airs, and then
in Jersey. I was just in Jersey, and
motherfuckers is just going to be coming on.
I'm gonna make sure he gets your address, though. I'm gonna fly this hobo out there. You think you got away, didn't you?
I do say I am appreciative that no one came on my car. From what I know, it's glass. I'd rather have glass on my seats than come on my hood. So, all I'm saying is, if a hobo is telling a joke about strippers with Down syndrome, I'm going to beat his ass. Special. We already did RIP to Gilbert Gottfried, right?
Yes, we did.
No, we did.
No, really. Backstage we did.
Backstage. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say rest in peace to Gilbert Gottfried. He passed today. Today is the 12th of April. But by the time this episode comes up, it's the 12th of April. He passed away today. Shout out to I met Gilbert Gottfried. I used to work at Caroline's in Times Square, New York City. So I met a lot of greats. I met Bob Saget. I met Louis. I was about to say Louis Armstrong.
Louis Anderson.
You know what?
It seemed like lately, like all the nice guys in comedy have just dropped off.
Why would you say Gilbert Gottfried? He didn't die yet. Yeah, no, I actually did shows with him, and he was Shang, you're a crazy motherfucker. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, he was one of the edgiest comics. You just didn't know he was that edgy. And rest in peace to him. And he was actually one of the third headliners I ever worked with.
Wow. And that was when both you guys were in your young 30s, about 40 years ago?
No, I was in my actually 30s. Okay. I'm not that old. Don't listen to Mo.
Man, I've been watching since 93 and I'm 43.
I haven't. What the fuck are you talking about?
Your boys
BET Comic View. Well, okay, 96. Okay.
Okay, see, you just said 93. I wasn't on there until, wow, it wasn't on
Let's
there.
get it on
in the 93.
96 still a long time ago.
It wasn't 96 either.
Mo was like, Mo was like, Shang, I watched you on the Flip Wilson show. I watched you on the Flip Wilson show.
Man, Mo was just going there. Mo, I know you thought you saw me on, and next on Ed Sullivan.
I saw you on.
Yeah, Mo was like, I saw you on the Slappy White Comedy Hour.
I saw him.
You were amazing.
I saw him in Othello, the original.
Wow, I got started on Good Times 5 times. I don't want to came up with Dynamite.
You was Michael's best friend.
I ain't that fucking old, but I'm old as fuck. No, I'm gonna tell you something. Gilbert Gottfried.
No, I'm just saying, you look good for 66. You know,
I'm 66.
You about 52. You 52 max.
Oh fuck no, I'm older than that.
We can't even have a moment of silence for Gilbert Gottfried because we're all over here just trying to be.
I'm just saying, we next. We next. You said he next.
Gilbert Gottfried will shit on all of you.
Gilbert Gottfried, did he come on your car, Chris?
I came on her car.
Oh my God.
That's pretty good.
Nothing. Her car's pussy is so good. I came on.
I'm holding something in my right hand.
Something over here that you can forget about something over here. No, Gilbert Gottfried, shout out to Gilbert Gottfried.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, no, Gilbert Gottfried was, and by the way, yes, I was in my. No, he's older than me. He's older than me. He's 9 years. He was 9 years old.
He's 67.
He was man. I'm older than that.
You're not 67.
No, I'm not 67.
Yeah, that's how old Gilbert is. He died at 67.
What y'all want to date?
Why are you making a check? Hold on. He was like, hold on. Yeah, I am. Wait a minute. No, I'm not. I'm asking your own age. Like,
Shang looked young for his age, but that wall going to hit one day. And all that shit
has that name. That's why he's been drinking dragon elixir or some shit from China. He's had for the last like 15 years.
Carl, it's called baby blood. Let's be real. It's baby blood. That's how I stay young. I stay young and I jack off on people's cars.
Because you
break their windows.
That's called recycling, Shang. You drink baby
blood
and you jack off. That's what it is. You're helping the earth.
But Gilbert Gottfried was a super funny. Gilbert Gottfried was a super funny cat. Different.
Have you guys ever seen that doc on the Aristocrats?
Yes.
It's a documentary they did on that joke. And dude, Gilbert Gottfried's joke, everybody talked about it. Was like, yo, you got to hear Gilbert tell the joke. And then the end of that doc, they just let Gilbert tell his version of the Aristocrats joke.
It was
and
the
I
worst
remember
best
it
thing
was
ever.
So filthy with so much added shit. Like, and then what do you do with the dog? So nasty.
That's pretty good, man.
I mean, the whole family that was added into that joke, like he was a genius in the sense that one, he did all these kid fucking cartoons and shit. Like he was Iago from Aladdin and stuff. Like these kids don't know that he was one of the dirtiest, filthiest comics there was.
Bob Saget. Bob Saget.
Yeah, Bob Saget.
Yep.
He was an Affleck.
But the fact that
yeah.
And they took that job away from him. Fuck that.
Yeah, because he said something about the Japanese earthquake. Like he couldn't tell it.
When the edgiest guy, like that's the bullshit about it too. Is like he got that job being who he was. Yeah. Same with like Kevin Hart got the job of being the Oscars host, of being who he was, and then they went through their old tweets and their old jokes and started getting rid of jobs. So when people be like, cancel culture doesn't exist, it's like, yo, they stopped them from getting work and employment from jokes. From jokes. And I don't give a fuck what they said. If the joke didn't hit, if it didn't land, it doesn't matter. The fact that they went out there to try to say something funny and it didn't hit, you shouldn't take employment from them. Yeah. Now, if you didn't buy tickets to see them, that's different. But like forbidding them to do something.
Well, cancel culture.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's actually people that try to get people fired from jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded.
I unfortunately still use Clubhouse. And there was a group where there were trans women in the group, and apparently there was this woman that said something about trans women on the app, right? So they had this room, and I think the woman that said she worked at like Waffle House or some shit, right? And they literally were like, "We found the phone number of the Waffle House that she works at. We're gonna call them now, and we're gonna get her fired." Wow! Like that's what they said. We're gonna get her fired. And it was.
Can you imagine that phone call too, where they're just like, "Hi, yes, this is Daphne, and I'm with the Trans Coalition over here, and they are saying nasty stuff about the trans community."
No, first you gotta say,
and then the people at Waffle House was like, "So what you want?"
No, you forgot. Speak to your manager.
I never seen no phone at Waffle House.
Yeah, can I speak to your manager?
You know what though? Y'all are being a little too judgmental. I just want to be the adult in the room and say that the fact that we skimmed over the skeeting incident.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's just let's just start there. But we gave a shout out. We're on a show. We can't give silence for a fucking show on a show while we're doing a show. If we were doing a live show, we give silence for Gilbert Gottfried. But Gilbert Gottfried, super funny. And if anybody out there knows, he's far funnier than T.I. has ever been.
What you saying there, Woody?
But before we do that, I also want to special condolences to the victims. Today there was a shooting in Brooklyn in the subway station. It was on, I think, I don't know what street it was. You can look up on CNN.
Bay Ridge Station.
Bay Ridge. I lived in Brooklyn for a while. It's a very special place in my heart. I love Brooklyn. I love the people in Brooklyn, except for the Russians. But
racist.
Yeah, fuck you, Sheepheads Bay.
You don't like my people? Keenan?
You sound like you run a 7-Eleven.
What is this?
What are you talking about?
No, 7-Eleven
is like you trying to sell me fake polo shit.
Actually, 7-Eleven is more like this. I know the difference.
Hey, my brother. How you doing, my brother? I know you. You like polo? You like polo?
They give you U.S.
You like Gucci? I like Gucci bag for you.
Well, yeah.
U.S. polo
I
assassin.
just left New York too. I just left New York. I just got back at 4 a.m. and I'm glad that I got away in time after the shooting.
I mean, and when you're on a train, there's like
why they all got shot in the leg though?
Yeah, like no one was killed, fortunately,
because they was compassionate.
Why did they get shot in the leg though?
That was the instructions.
Well, to be honest with you, I do think T.I. did it. I think T.I.'s a suspect. He was pissed.
I think they were scaring white people that lived in Brooklyn. Like, did you see all their tweets? They're like, "Oh my God, don't go to the Bay Ridge Station." I'm like, bitch, y'all don't go to Brooklyn. Bitch, you know who lives around the corner from you? Like,
but yeah, I think.
Like, do you know what you gentrified? Do you know what's all?
Yeah, and it's time to rise up. I didn't say that, but I did.
So you're just waiting. Yeah, this is waiting in the wings, sort of.
They're like in the name of Biggie Smalls. Click, click. What are you saying, Chris?
I just really want to know why so many of these clubs are putting T.I. on all these shows right now. Like I get
you know why.
Like I get that he's a draw, but it's just some disrespect.
Who has a house phone?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like,
that's Shang, man. 1922.
1950.
The reason I have a it's through my computer.
Oh, we all thought you had rotary. We all thought you had a rotary Snoopy phone.
Okay, but check this out. Don't make me pull rank on you, motherfuckers. First off, because I can't. And secondly, No, I have another phone because the signal sometimes fucked up, so it's going through my computer. So I explain that. Two, the reason that they're giving T.I. shit is because they punk bitches and they don't respect comics and talent, and all they go off is dick riding, and that's why Brooklyn showed fuck all that shit they do clapping for him in New York. Boo, nigga, boo.
Yeah. Well, it was mostly.
Oh, I wish I could say that because the N-word hits so much harder. Right?
It did.
Somebody like that.
Just ginger. Man. Say ginger.
Ooh.
No, I mean, because that's something that I was talking to a couple of my friends, my comic friends up this way. We're like, real talk. I mean, yes, you have headliners that are bringing in a lot of money, but clubs don't have headliners bringing in that kind of money every single night of the week. The majority of the week, they are making their money off of. I mean, Shang, you are the exception out of this group here, but motherfuckers like us that aren't on yet. So
hey, speak for yourself.
I'm not on yet. I'm trying to get King.
Or they do make like off of one nighters and having these one-off shows and stuff.
Like
it's
everyone put it on.
They're not.
But you know what I mean. To me, it just seems like it's disrespectful and. I get it. I get everybody's just trying to get whatever stage time they can get. But personally, like, and Keenan, you can edit it, whatever. I'll say it to them myself. Even like Chocolate Sunday's Laugh Factor, I'm like, fuck y'all. Like, you can't have this man go up on stage and harass another comedian and then be like, oh, let's bring the motherfucker back. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. If you are not willing to deal with the same type of shit that we've all dealt with, you do not deserve to share this stage with us. I'm sorry. If you can't take the joke, go back.
It is a whole thing of entitlement. It's an entitlement thing to think that you're not only going to skip all these steps, but then you're going to shit on, like, have the awareness to know that you've skipped them and shit on it and disrespect it. Because he did say that shit when he ran the light for 20 minutes at the Comedy Store. He was like, I ain't a fucking comic, I'm a superstar. And you're like, bitch,
so
what?
Bitch, first of all, stage.
I would, if I was that chick that he fucking harassed him, first of all, I would have been like, bitch, you never had a funny rap lyric, let alone a joke. If they would have told me Redman was going to be a comic, I'd be like, he's hilarious.
Yeah,
but I would have been like, bitch,
or Snoop Dogg is funny.
This is the same guy who had entitlement, who, when Atlanta rap was taking over and shit, he came in and was like, I'm the king. And like, who are you? Nobody ever heard of you, and you called yourself
but it worked,
king.
Carl. It worked. He's worth $70 million.
But he's trying the same. He's trying the same approach in comedy, and he's finding that it's a different thing. Because what you need, you can release a dope song and put it out, and people will listen to it, and the club will play it and shit like that. But you need a live audience for stand up, and you have to keep working that shit. And he stinks.
I've done shows with him. He stinks.
So what I'm saying is,
never been funny.
Using the same approach that he did. Like, yo, I came in, I'm a king in this, and he took over, and injected himself into the rap game. He's doing that, the same approach that he had before, with totally disrespecting everything and everyone around it. And I thought it was very karmic for him to be up there. It was karma.
To use an analogy, it's like he's coming from MMA doing boxing, but he's still kicking in the ring. Like, you're doing the wrong things. Like, things he's doing doesn't apply to comedy. You understand?
And
that's just simply not funny.
Yeah. But there's been like internet people that have like hacked their teeth, like have cut their teeth and paid their dues doing it. One of them that comes to mind is DC Young Fly, right? That's a kid who was doing internet roasting shit. And then I saw him and people would comment on his social media and be like, bro, you need to be doing arenas and shit. Look at your following. He goes, nah, man, it takes time. He would write them back and be like, he was doing these shows where nobody was in it because he was actually honing a craft in comedy.
Have you seen his stand-up?
I'm not saying it's great, but at least he did that part to recognize.
Oh, no. I'm asking. I haven't really seen him. I've only seen him once.
Yeah, and he's 10 times funnier than T.I.
Man, don't get ahead of yourself.
It's more improv than stand-up to me, personally.
Yeah, he's not.
And he's still funnier.
He's fun, but it's not stand-up, though.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, there's crowd riffing comics that literally all they do is crowd work.
That is a marginalized way of looking at it. The fact of the matter is, it does not matter if he's funny. There are a lot of people that are making a shit ton of money that aren't funny. The problem is you are disrespecting your peers.
That part,
the
Krys.
the commentary of whether someone is funny or not funny is subjective.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Small, you know,
Krys,
small
you're not. Krys, you're lying. That's not true. And just because you're pretty doesn't mean you're going to let you get away with it. Now, let me tell you something, Krys. Hold on now. Watch it, woman. First off, let me tell you something, woman. You're out of line. You're out of fucking line.
No, dude,
I need to speak to security. I need to speak to security. She's out of line.
Did it turn into a Shang show?
It turned into the Samuels.
Don't overtalk me. Don't overtalk me.
First off, you're a woman. Shut your mouth. No, I'm kidding, Krys. No, I agree with you. There's a lot of unfunny motherfuckers. There's people that are headliners that are garbage, and there's Hannah Gadsby, garbage. Gerard Carmichael,
right.
eat a dick, garbage.
And it's something that, like, even though it's subjective, and this is the thing, I can watch anybody on stage and be like, you know, oh, they're not for me, or personally, I think they might suck. However, anybody who gets up there and does it, and really does it, attempts to write these jokes, go up on stage, perform them, eat shit, and work that shit until it is good, and you can present something else. Like, I respect them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if they're not, you know what I'm saying? I still respect that. And I have zero respect for this dude. I didn't even really respect him as a rapper, to be honest with you. And then, like, cool, get your own hustle, do whatever you think, cool. However, to come in there, like, the way he was talking to that girl, and all she brought up was, you know, you should attack them jokes like you did them women. Like, that's funny.
That was
like, that's
this is for the hold on. This is for the pro-black people. How you gonna talk about a black man like that, man? You a guest in this panel. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good with the black.
Wow. That, Carl, that just happened. That just happened.
Wow.
And
Mo Green would smack the shit out of him.
And that's the one thing I did. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, and to be honest with you, T.I. isn't 100% at fault. He's 100% a piece of shit, but he's not 100% at fault because of the people
bring up Tiny.
Oh, don't that Snoopy looking.
I had a crush on her when I was young, man.
That Wilson from Castaway looking bitch.
Hey,
if you talk about toxic with Jada, you got to bring up Tiny and why they making these men do this sort of behavior in public.
I got a weird attraction to her, so I'm out of it.
Yeah.
Mo, apparently you've been hit in the head as a child.
There
is no way you look at that woman and go, God damn.
Back in the day, she was weirdly cute, though. I don't know.
Mo also jerks off on car handles. So
that's true.
And Keenan watches.
Right. So, I mean,
Mo sends me videos and asks for tips.
Because you asked for them.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you pertaining to some people that aren't funny that are headliners. All right. But I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to continue to book T.I. because he will put asses in seats, and they don't give a fuck about that. All comedy clubs are Fridays with fucking jokey joke people. So they just want money.
I don't know, dude. If a couple more of them videos come out where he's absolute trash and he's disrespecting female comics on stage and doing shit like that, he won't put butts in seats. Not in comedy clubs.
You're gonna become a villain.
Well, to that, Carl, the audience has to take a stand.
But they're not paying to see him. They're paying to see he's on a rotation of comics, and these bookers are putting him in there. They're sort of getting bombarded with him. They're not like, man, I can't wait to see T.I. at Barclays.
Well, T.I. is headlining. He's later this month. He has a weekend where he's headlining at the Baltimore Comedy Factory, and he has a weekend where he's headlining at the Stardome. Now it's time for the audience to decide whether T.I. is going to keep doing comedy the way he's doing it. That's what I bet
by the third show they paper the room.
To call that headlining is disrespectful. He's going last. He the nigga going last.
Well, no,
he ain't no fucking headline.
It's his only. It's like
that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Carl.
Wait a minute. He's really headlining comedy clubs now.
Yeah. Baltimore
3
comedy.
months.
That's what
you guys
about skipping steps.
I know it was beautiful seeing you guys. I'm quitting. Thank you.
He's the 2022 Gary Owen. You know, Gary Owen got on in 6 months.
I never even did the Stardome.
I've done the start-up.
I mean, but
you was there when they built that bitch.
Oh.
I named it.
That shit used to be called the Star Arch or something. Yeah. You was there when they built the rest of the dome.
I named it, and all the old jokes apply to me. I agree, but I'm gonna tell you something. And Krys, you're right. I am the only one that's on. So, motherfuckers. See, they want to pull rank.
By the way,
pull rank. All you motherfuckers. All of you.
Shang, this is hey Shang, this is a TV credit for me, man. Thank you.
You shot me in the ass. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Okay, it's insulting that he's even doing comedy at all from the standpoint of not working on the craft. Yeah. That's the insult to me. And then to turn around and say, I perfected the craft in 3 weeks. And you're still bombing it. No, he did say that. And he's still bombing and taking dicks to the face. He's still taking bags of dicks to the face. He also made
Instagram videos shitting on comedians. He's like, why don't you, if y'all comedians mad about what I'm doing, why don't you just do what you always did? Suck dicks. And like, what? Yeah, he's like, so on top of the blatant disrespect of like, I'm not a comedian, I'm a superstar, running the light, doing that shit. That's why I said about his awareness that he's doing this. He makes videos disrespecting and thinking like he's going to be some villain in comedy. Like this is rap beef and shit. Like, no, dude, you're like literally disrespecting the art of comedy.
I blame all those bookers and I blame us as comedians.
Yeah.
There are far too many different independent venues where people could say, you know what? I could put some shit together and get my stage time. I could promote my own stuff. You don't need, to me at this point, we don't need the clubs, especially with social.
That's not true at all. Hold on. You know why that's not true? I'm going to tell you why it's blatantly not true. Because the clubs, industry, go to comedy clubs and they see it as a status symbol. If you work certain clubs, if you work the Laugh Factory, the Improvs, there are certain clubs where they go, oh, if you can headline here, then maybe you're a viable comic. If you do Uncle Joe's Chicken Shack, but you got it, you promoted it, and you packed it out, they still won't give you the same credibility. The only person that got over that way is Country Wayne, and that was because his numbers were so massive that they put him in comedy clubs. Mm-hmm. But he did start it with some old, backward, cornbread shucking bullshit. Mm. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. So basically, and that's how the entertainment system is structured. Right
now, the hottest show in LA is not in any single one of the big 3 clubs. The hottest show in LA is between 2 buildings. It's called Supernova.
I do Supernova all the time.
And that's the hottest show in LA.
Not at all. Not even close.
What do you mean not even close?
It's a hot show, and
big and small comedians, heavy hitters
do it. But again, and the industry don't
look at the lineups that they're putting on the Improv, the Laugh Factory. And
there's not one Netflix is a joke show. Netflix is a joke is doing shows all over, and there's not one at Supernova.
Is Mo taking a jerk off break?
Yeah, but that's a festival. They had to put that there to put juice in them bitches. Because the hottest show had been not even in the building for the last.
No, I've done it many, many times. I've done shows there, and I'm telling you, it's an amazing night.
Right. What I'm saying, that's why they have to have Netflix new fucking comedy fest at all the other clubs and shit to juice them bitches. They also have Netflix as a joke is at Dodger Stadium too. There's also a thing on the west side that they do with the alt comics and stuff. They're doing a bunch of shit because Netflix is also buying up studios around here. But to Chris's point, she's right in the sense that you can build a whole audience and then the clubs will go, hey, we want you here.
Oh, yeah, you can build an audience, but I'm saying they look at you in the comedy club sense. It's the credibility of the comedy clubs. Now, I fucking hate it. I hate that whole, system. But the bottom line is I think
both things are coming into play. To Chris's point, if you're doing these shows that are sold out elsewhere, I'm like, cool. Then you tell the clubs, like, cool. Let me get an off night. Let me get the one night there, and then they do that, and then you sort of build a rapport with that club, and it's depending on, you know, whatever city you're in. I'm not saying this doesn't work in LA because it's, you know, different. But for people to dictate the market how it's always been, it will continue to do that. If they're going to buy tickets and go, the comedy club is not booking the people I want to see. They keep booking the same shitty people all the time. We're just not going to go anymore. And then they'll hold out and pay to see one big comedian that they go to see at like an arena or a theater show.
Right, like a Bill Burr.
And that's their comedy experience, because these bookers are running shit into the ground.
Well,
they're not.
I agree. Oh, I agree with all three of you.
Popularity contest.
Oh, say it again, Krys. I'm sorry, I overtalked you.
No, I said to me, especially in LA, I honestly cannot say that from a New York standpoint, and it's not just because I'm an East Coast person, but from what I've seen on the West Coast, the bookers there run it like people that were not popular in school, and now this is their reign of terror. And it's like, oh, okay, well, now I'm going to go where all the supposed cool kids are, and I'm going to put them into these spaces. But to me, I've seen a bunch of shows. I'm like, what are you doing? Do you even know how this is supposed to work? Do you even know these comedians to know how the ebbs and flows of this night is going to go? So it can actually,
who should be up first? Who should do that? Like who should middle? They're not good at it. They don't understand the ebb and flow of the show. They don't get it.
Yeah.
They look at numbers on a page and numbers on a screen, and if you don't have followers, they're not even gonna sit down and listen to you pitch a fucking show.
I mean, because
if you don't,
let's keep it a buck, Carl. I mean, everybody. The majority of the bookers that are in LA that are booking some of the top shows right now, they have never seen the majority of the people that they're putting on. They're getting referrals from people that they like, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, that's my people. They're cool, they're good. And then they're putting them on these shows, and the shows are a fucking train wreck.
I agree. I mean, but you said Supernova. I do Supernova, and Mark Ciratella half the time don't got a clue. I love doing the show where he put me up and don't realize I'm fucking over the whole show, bitch. Because none of these cats are strong as me. Not Jeff Ross, not Craig Ferguson, not Robinson, none of them. And then you rip on the fucking show and they go, well, why the fuck did they put him up first? Why would that's like back in the day, you used to put Patrice up, Patrice, and he'd rip the room apart. They go, because they figured they didn't know him. It's like they're fucking dumb as shit. No, I agree. LA is a piece of shit, but so is fucking New York. The Cellar will put on motherfuckers that. And they don't even know who's the beast, and the Cellar dictates to all the other clubs.
Right. It's the same as like the store or at, when you're like at the Improv. They're just like, oh, okay, they're there on a Wednesday and they get their own show. Why not over here? And it's like, yeah, but they just fucked the booker, or they are best friends with what's the name. That's why their show. It's so weird to see it happen in real time.
It's
and
true.
Then what happens is,
and then none of us say anything because we're like, okay, well, let them do their thing. Because what do we think in our minds? We'd be like, it'll fizzle out, or like, we'll go,
or I'll stab them in the alley.
And then what happens is those comedians that get booked at those places get arrogant. And then you got to deal with those assholes in the scene. And then you're like, but you're not even funny. Like, what you
Shang talk shit to us.
What?
But you know what?
I said, then we got to listen to Shane talk shit to us after that.
No, I'm not.
He'd be like, y'all motherfuckers, I letting them get up before you. Here comes Shane.
No, it's the truth. I'm not saying it on some old like T.I. shit. Like I think I'm the king.
I get it.
I really have been on shows where it's like, don't you know the ebb and flow? Why would you put this comic up after this comic? But even the industry does that. Just Hilarious is headlining, and she can't follow a motherfucker in a car, let alone on stage.
They're doing it based on numbers.
Exactly.
Social media shit will fool people. And so I said this about like companies like Uber and Lyft and shit, right? They're essentially software companies that are in the car business, but all their executives, everybody they hire is tech people. People that are like Facebook, MySpace people. So that's why none of this shit runs efficiently during times in big metro cities. That's why you ever try to get an Uber or a Lyft at a certain time, you're like, why does this not run right? Yeah. It's because they don't hire people that do logistics. Their executives should be from the post office, from FedEx, from UPS and shit like that. That's who they should hire. The same thing that these comedy clubs investing all this fucking money should not be hiring these fucking MOMO kids that are like theater majors, or they maybe were another business that they ran well. They were like from Starbucks or some other shit that they pulled from. And you're like, oh, well, they were the district or whatever manager of this and sales at Coffee Tea Bean. And
same with Netflix.
And you're like,
same with Netflix, exactly. HBO Max. HBO Max, how many comics have
numbers?
Right, not even numbers. How many comics have done HBO Max specials and HBO Max that nobody fucking knows? Not only don't they not know them, they don't have good sets. Yeah. They dick ride the people that like. Okay, put it this: Gerard Carmichael's numbers aren't as big as Earthquake's numbers pertaining to stand up, but they still dick ride Gerard Carmichael. The industry does, comedians do.
That's crazy.
And LA, that's why. And T.I., the reason T.I. can do so well in LA is because comics will dick ride T.I. because they think there's a possibility T.I. can put them on. Exactly. Whereas in New York, they were like,
they all have that same thing.
"Ooh, bitch, get out the way!"
They all have the same
LA
thing
is
in their mind.
50% at fault with T.I.
Yes,
ahead,
absolutely.
They have the same mindset. Whether they're the booker, whether it's comics, it's this clout chasing thing that maybe they'll put me on, or something good can happen for me if I do this, or if I go along, or if I don't say shit, or if so. That's why I have no problem. What other people refer to as burning bridges. I'm like, bitch, you're not building bridges for me to burn. So why I'm calling shit out that's disgusts me. I'm not fucking burning bridges and shit. I'm not wronging anybody because I don't avoid confrontation. So all these motherfuckers that like avoiding confrontation, that won't say anything, we're better off not doing anything, right? They'll make me look like a villain, like an asshole, because I don't care about confronting something. Or I don't care about calling something out. It looks like, don't you have better time? Shouldn't you focus on your own career? Like, why? I'm calling all this shit out for us. Yeah, like, that's how I look at it.
The bad part about what I'm seeing as I see all the different flyers and the pictures cheesing and promoting all these other different events with T.I. coming up. I don't know if it's like an East Coast thing, but once somebody shows themselves to be corny to me, they can't uncorny themselves. So now I'm looking at people that I said, man, I used to respect you, especially other men, because I'm like, you know damn good and well that if this little rapper ran up on stage and did that disrespectful shit to you, you would knuckle up. But you're doing some bitch shit right now, and you're sitting here and you're cheesing because you're hoping to suck the tip of his dick for an opportunity that you probably could get on your own.
Well, that's
it's like I'll pose for a picture.
It's just,
but that's corny. The reason. But that's the reason so much of this quote unquote toxicity exists in the entertainment industry. That's why the entertainment industry is a place where someone like a Harvey Weinstein or a fucking Bryan Singer can exist. And it's one of those things where it's like the system is set up for people to be scared to actually speak out on things, and by the time you speak out, no one gives a shit because it's 20 years too late.
T.I. absolutely. Him taking it to the face in Brooklyn. I'm hoping that he goes down to Alabama and does Birmingham. I mean the Stardome, and he's going to take it to the face. He's not going to kill. When he does the Baltimore Comedy Factory, he's going to bomb. There's no way. He's just not that. One, he's not a funny dude. Like, everybody, no, he's just not. He's always been a serious rapper. He's always been hey, nigga, what you, hey, what, hey, trap, nigga, old trap, nigga. He's never been a funny rapper, or let alone funny. So the fact that people around his dick, the fact that there's bookers, and you, Keenan, you already dealt with one on Clubhouse where you said something and all of a sudden she ain't fucking with you. And now she's in a position of power, which is fucking scary and sad without knowing comics.
And literally all I said was T.I.'s not good yet. That's all I said. And it was like I slapped the baby. And I'm like, I'm literally like, why are we protecting this guy when he doesn't deserve the respect of comedians? we can respect him as like people, as a person, you know. But for this guy to come in and then all of a sudden he's like, "Fuck all you comedians. I don't care what you've done. I don't care the years that you've spent perfecting your craft or trying to perfect your craft or trying to get on. I don't give a fuck about you going to clubs and the club's telling you to fuck yourself because you're nobody. That's not my problem. So excuse me why I go to Chocolate Sundays and bump 6 comedians so I can do an hour of material I don't have. But then if I say, yo, that's fucked up, then they turn on us and like, how dare, and then this is why I hate when you have someone like T.I., these black dudes that they're black when it's convenient. You say, yo, T.I., that's fucked up. You should respect the craft. How come it's always one of your own that's talking shit about it? It's like, nigga, what?
And the industry, you know what? They gave him a standing O too in the Barclay at the end of his set. They gave him a standing O and so Brooklyn got some shit to answer for with some bitch shit. What? But honestly, yeah, that was bitch shit. Fucking, if you bomb, you bomb. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Yeah. But they didn't. So I got to, and I'm from there. So I got to say to y'all bitches, y'all dick riders. How you gonna fucking give him a standing O after taking it to the face with that garbage he did? Yeah. But guess what? That's what they do. And industry do this shit. And there was industry saying, well, isn't that part of being a comic? Every comic's going to get booed. And they were giving him props. I'm like, no, motherfucker. I've been booed 3 times. I've been doing comedy 29 years. The fuck out of here. It ain't about, oh, well, everybody gets booed. No, everybody doesn't get booed. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That simply is not true. And people buy into it. Not the, I'm getting mad. Okay, look, cry the hands. Don't leave it alone. No, I ain't get mad. No, I'm saying, but T.I. is going to continue to get bookings. He's going to walk around, and the bookers like the Improv, Michelle is going to give him props, and all these other people are going to give him props. Sarah Mello, all of them are going to give him props, and he doesn't deserve it, and it's fucked up. And I'm doing Chocolate Sundays next month, and I'm gonna go up on stage. I'm going to make sure I destroy first, and at the end, I'm going to say, this is how we supposed to do this shit. The earthquakes of the world that took 33 years to get on Netflix. And T.I. will probably be on by next week. So you continuously perpetuate subpar to mediocre motherfuckers, then that will become the norm.
Well, and what happens, too, is, because, Shang, you and I talk about this, it gets to a point where you feel helpless. You know what I mean? You feel helpless in the sense of, I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore, right? Because I'm not going to get $70 million soon. I'm not going to be known by millions of people soon, So the question really goes, okay, well, do I keep going? Because a lot of times what happens is what people don't realize is that a lot of times comics will get recognition and then they'll die. You know what I mean? Like you'll get the birdie.
You shouldn't say that with me being an old motherfucker on the panel here.
Oh,
thanks a lot.
You might be 167, but you have blood of a
spit it out, damn it.
He can't spit it out.
You have the blood of Chloe Bailey.
Wow, I don't even know who that is, but I'm gonna keep it. Exactly. Listen. No, what I'm saying is, I hear what you're saying, but the bottom line is, and I'm gonna ask Krys this. You say that you can just make it through other venues. I know promoters, I know bookers that'll say, "Hey, I'm doing a spot at the Haha. Yo, let me know when you're doing a spot at the Comedy Store in the main room." Mm-hmm. Why should I fuck with you if you're doing a Haha or even the Comedy Chateau? It's like, why should I fuck with you? Unless you're doing something that is absolutely substantial in my eyes. Mm-hmm. All that shit don't mean nothing unless your numbers are monster. There was a girl that did the Laugh Factory, and she was a young girl, and her whole show, it's not even an act. She sold the fucking Laugh Factory out, which is 650 seats, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, talking about all the celebrities' dicks she sucked. Not a joke among one of the things she said. It was just talk about different celebrity dicks she sucked. That's where the business is going. Where you got garbage ass people, where you got T.I. can do long-winded big fucking word stanzas of non-funny, and motherfuckers still give him a standing up. Bitch ass Brooklyn niggas that stood up, all y'all bitches.
Do you attribute any of that to the fact that we really don't have scouts anymore like we used to?
Yeah. It's people that don't know what comedy clubs what's going on. Half the people that are in power that run Netflix, HBO Max, Showtime are not even, they don't even know comics. They look at numbers and that's it. They put people on that aren't strong comics. It's the nature of the beast now. And so I hear what you say when Keenan is saying, well, it makes you want to quit. If anything, it makes me want to work harder and it makes me want to kill stronger. Like, and I'm not saying that out of if like there's certain shit. If you're a grizzly bear, you say you're a grizzly bear, and I'm so sick of people saying, "Well, you're being cocky." I'm not being cocky like T.I. because I've actually killed consistently for years. So when I say that, and people say, "Well, who do you think you are?" Again, I think I'm the person that kills consistently for years. That is not narcissism. That is not conceited. That is fact. That's like Usain Bolt saying, "Well, I run fast." Well, who are you to say you run fast? Because I really do, motherfucker. That's it. And T.I. is not a good comic. People are afraid to say the shit. I wouldn't say the shit to the nigga's face because he's not even worth me saying it. Because, I mean, now I'll say it on here. I'll say it. If somebody asked me, and if I came up after him, and they said, isn't T.I. funny? Go, no. And I'd start doing my shit. He's just simply not.
He just got. He just has rich privilege. Rich people always cut the line in every situation, man. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's it. He's just not. If he was good, I mean, like, there's a young comic, Jack Knight. Y'all know who Jack Knight is?
I never heard of him.
Oh yeah,
comic named Jack Knight. Jack Knight. He's I think he's very funny. He says nigga too much, and I don't mean like literally everything is emphasized. This nigga, the nigga. Okay, come up with another word. But the bottom line is Negro's good. Yeah.
Moon cricket.
But no, moon cricket. That's good too. That made me money. That bought me a new car. In fact, Keenan I think he makes fun of my car every time he sees it.
Yeah. When you look at Shang, what kind of car do you guys think he drives?
Oh God.
Tell me what kind of car. Like if you looked at Shang right now and be like, "This is the car you drive." What do you think?
Something light skinned.
Wow.
Something electric.
Mo is brutal.
Yo, Shang's so yellow. He make me look like Idris Elba.
Yeah,
and I'm light nigga.
Right. Okay, so what kind of car, Krys?
Chevy Malibu.
See, you're wrong, Keenan. You're totally wrong, Keenan.
Like I feel confident saying a Prius. I feel like Shang is an electric man.
Volkswagen Beetle.
Like economical.
I do want a Prius. I would probably buy one, but no. Oh. Keenan's gonna every time he sees my car, he has to say some little snide remark every time.
The first time I saw Shang's car, it was a Dodge Charger, and I was like,
okay.
That fits. I was like, yeah, that's it.
It's a Challenger, number one.
Challenger. That's what I meant. Challenger. You're Vin Diesel looking ass. That's why I was like, yeah.
It's a muscle car. I bought a muscle car because
I'm like,
my brother drives.
I'm like, yeah, you're totally going to be in Fast and Furious 11. That's why I'm like,
Keenan feels the need to. He feels like, oh yeah. It's just that looks like a stereotypical car. No, it doesn't.
That's not what I said. I didn't say stereotypical. I said, I
look like I drive a Prius. So I really do.
I said I wasn't surprised that then Shane got offended.
I wasn't offended. I'm not offended by anything. Nothing. You know what offends me? People like T.I., the mentality of T.I. pertaining to our craft. That offends me. The Amy Schumers of the world offend me. The Will Smiths of the world offend me. The industry that gave him a standing O at the Oscars offends me. The way they minimize black people, and the only thing that we get props on are shuck and jive type shit. Because even though the thing he won the Oscar for was fantastic. It was a fantastic story. Honestly, Serena's Pops is on some coon shit. The way he talks, but I'm trying to tell these girls to shoot up toward the stars. It is. I mean, it's not like it doesn't show arc or depth of black people.
That's kind of funny, man. He sound like Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp. Listen here, Skip.
Skip. Let me tell you something, Skip. If you just did that, I'd have whooped him. Skip. Listen, Skip.
He said he supposed to be the GOAT.
But I mean, Keenan, you got to admit that this is what has been going on for a while. The people like T.I., the people like is it Nanette that's on they gets a 99 and Chappelle gets a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. And you got to think this is the pattern that's going
racism.
on where people. Well, that's racism too.
Even the Gerard Carmichael special, when you go on Rotten Tomatoes, it has like a 100 or 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes, right? And you're like, well, why is that? And then when you start reading the articles, you realize that it has nothing to do with funny at all. It's because he came out as gay.
Yeah,
that's good, and that's fine. That's fine if you want to do that, but at the same time, don't come at, because it's the inconsistency. Don't come at me like I have to be talented to get put on, because at the same time, if all the industry is biased. The industry is biased as fuck. Yeah, everything now is LGBT and all that stuff. So like, for example, if you meet somebody that's their narrative, you're like, oh, this person's going to be a star. I work in production, so it's like I see this. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to be on Comedy Central next year. Oh yeah, you're going to be on a show on Netflix.
Right.
Because they're thinking about the message. The reason that Amy Schumer is popular is because there's a huge market for basic white bitches. And Amy Schumer's as basic as they come. So she's the voice. Even when you watch her tell jokes, she doesn't even tell her jokes well. She's very unsure. She comes across as very unsure of herself and very unoriginal. But that's
Chris Rock produced her special, Floyd.
But that's on purpose, though. The market.
Chris Rock produced her special in Harlem at the Apollo. Smack me in my fucking face when you do shit like that. And I was mad at Chris for doing that. Motherfucker, produce a show for some black comics that's coming up. And don't put Amy Schumer. Fuck out of here, Chris.
And that's because that is the basic white bitches love hanging out in Harlem and then acting like they're scared when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Look at this moon-faced basic white bitch who's brave enough to do a show at the Apollo.
Right.
Like, for example, that episode of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel called the finale of last season was called a Jewish girl walks into the Apollo. This bitch got on stage and her jokes, I've done the Apollo and I've gotten booed. She walks on stage and she's like, hey everyone, I'm Jew, and on the show they portray her like she's hilarious to these black folks.
Yeah.
In Harlem. I'm telling you, the industry is the industry has always been biased, but it's at a point now where they're not even hiding it.
But you know, some of our people do give like a lot of white comics more leeway. You know that's true.
Yeah, because we're afraid.
You know what I'm saying? I love me some chocolate. But
that's because for some reason we're afraid they're going to burn down our house. And we don't laugh. That's like
a lot of us seek white approval.
Yeah, and
not all of us, but a lot of us do.
Dance around a little bit, and
it's like an old white dude using black colloquialisms. That doesn't win me over. You know what I'm saying? I need some of that brown sugar, baby. Yeah, you can kiss my black ass.
Chris, what were you saying?
Go ahead.
No, I said, unfortunately, with a lot of the white comics, when they go into these urban rooms, all they have to do is do a little sad twerk and, I don't know, like half a stanky leg, and everyone's like, oh, you're amazing. I'm not doing that. I have the stone face the whole time. I don't care if I look like a hater. If I look like that, it's because I hate this shit. But gentlemen, I need to hop off. I have another podcast I gotta go do. So
you know what? You know what? That was a little. Now you just called a big dog move. I'm sorry, guys. I got to go do Joe Rogan. You guys take care of yourself.
But Krys, before you leave your just turn your camera off and your mic off, and keep this open because I have to load up your footage.
Let me see.
You're at 99%. So I'll text you when you can actually close your thing.
So let's see.
Yeah.
And Shang, if that is still your phone number, that was me texting you. I got your big dog, not responding to text messages.
No, you didn't. You didn't text me. You didn't text me. So that's not my number. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh God.
You didn't text me. I'm
very,
serious.
Very mature. Would you mind?
No, I was being silly.
Would you mind if I get the updated contact from Keenan then? My God.
Of course. I was kidding with you. And it was okay, that was being childish. But no, of course.
And that's how he maintains his youthful glow. That shit right there.
Well, these ain't my teeth. Hold on.
They got the veneers.
Yeah, Mo is just went in like, so this nigga, he was telling jokes to Judas and Jesus.
Yo, I remember you when I was in middle school, man. I really do. You said 29 years. You done gave it away. 29 years.
I have been doing it a long time.
29 years ago, I was 14, so I wasn't lying when I said.
No. I've been doing comedy a long time. I've been lucky. I've been
much respect too. You OG. I was actually on a show with you a couple of years ago, and I got in the Springbok. Some spot at Springbok in Van Nuys or some shit. And I went first and I ate a weed brownie for the first time. And I was so high, I just babbled the whole time. And when I was done, I just ran in and hit my car. Terrified.
I just said, I'm out of here.